Hello, and welcome to the Now Platform Utah release video for IT asset management. My name is Matt Brazel, and I'm a solution consultant here at ServiceNow with a focus in the IT asset management section of our platform. Today, I'll be covering some of the new releases as part of our Utah release as far as enhancements go to enterprise asset management, and specifically the newly released asset maintenance and reclamations on the platform. This presentation may contain forward-looking statements that reflect the current beliefs of ServiceNow alongside of current information available and should not be relied upon in making any purchasing decisions as far as future-looking statements go. The first feature of the Utah release that I wanted to cover is the newly additioned asset maintenance planning capability inside of enterprise asset management. This will allow our customers to generate maintenance plans for enterprise assets based on a number of triggers, including schedules, usage, or conditions. This will allow our customers to manage these asset plans for enterprise assets to extend the life of these assets by planning regular maintenance, as well as being able to create maintenance schedules associated with specific models or assets inside of the environment, as well as being able to demonstrate asset maintenance with documentations for audits or inspections or as needed. The second piece I'm going to cover today is enterprise asset reclamation as an enhancement on the Utah release. And ServiceNow's enterprise asset management offers prescriptive workflows with standard practice tasks for the enterprise asset reclamation process. So this could apply during employee transitions, and our customers must ensure that the hardware and enterprise assets that are properly offboarded to ultimately maximize the value of these enterprise assets and continue to use what still works and repair or dispose of what assets do not work. And ultimately, this works to simplify the enterprise asset offboarding process through a prescriptive workflow to automate the request, reclamation, evaluation, and retiring and disposal of enterprise assets. The first piece we'll see live in a demonstration today is the maintenance plans on enterprise assets. So what we've done is created a maintenance plan in order to manage and schedule the routine maintenance for your enterprise assets. And you can run maintenance on demand or based on specific criteria. The first piece I'm going to showcase live in an instance is the maintenance plans as associated to enterprise assets. And as part of this enhancement, again, we've allowed the creation of maintenance plans to be able to manage and schedule routine maintenance for your enterprise assets. And these maintenance plans can be run on demand or based on a specific set of criteria. So inside of the enterprise asset workspace, I've gone ahead and moved us into the maintenance plans table where we can see all of the active maintenance plans in my environment, along with a name and a short description of the plan itself, as well as a filtering condition indicating which assets in our environment should be associated to this plan based on the asset tags. I'll go ahead and get us into one of these plans, specifically a maintenance plan for brakes on transportation assets inside of the environment. And we're going to be able to see that this plan is active in the environment and what assets are targeted under this plan. And we can see specifically what table is being associated. As part of building out this maintenance plan, we're going to be able to associate a schedule indicating on what trigger this maintenance should take place, as well as how often this maintenance should take place. And we can see here for this brake inspection, it's been active, so this is indicating true. The trigger on this particular maintenance plan is under a duration, the trigger type indicating that this duration would be on a monthly basis. And then in order to get this to the right person, we're going to need to give them a lead time of 2 days. And we can come in and see all of this information. Again, this can be set to multiple different kinds of triggers, whether it be duration-based, a certain condition, or a script, as well as being able to indicate the cadence in which this maintenance will need to take place, whether it be on a certain interval, weekly, monthly, or annually, as well as being able to indicate a due date and due time. And we can come in and see any maintenance plan records associated to this maintenance plan. And here we can see that there's a couple of records associating individual assets in the environment that would need to be executed inside of this maintenance plan. We can move in and see specifically the source ID for the individual asset that's going to be under this maintenance plan, as well as the last time this plan was completed and when the next time maintenance will need to be performed on this asset based on the schedule would be. Again, these maintenance plans really enhance the capability of enterprise asset management to extend the life of these assets inside of the environment and to be able proactively to plan when maintenance is going to need to take place based on that schedule and being able to associate assets to a specific maintenance plan. The second enhancement under the Utah release that I wanted to cover is the asset reclamation, specifically pertaining to enterprise assets as employees are leaving the organization and we need to go ahead and reclaim the assets that have been assigned to them. So in this record, we can see the generation of the asset reclamation request with the state that it's in, who it was requested by, as well as the scheduled reclaim date and reclaim method. In this case, this reclaim method is going to be pickup, as well as any assets that are associated under this reclamation request. And this can be applied not only to enterprise assets, but as well as hardware and software assets. As part of the Utah release, the new feature is being able to apply this out-of-the-box workflow to enterprise assets in the environment. And we can see there are a couple of different asset reclamation lines that we'll need to go ahead and address. So if I move into one of these records, we'll be able to see the specific asset that's being reclaimed, the state that it's in use, as well as the location. And as part of this workflow, the system is going to go ahead and generate some tasks that need to be moved through in order to make sure that this reclamation is handled in a standard fashion. The first task is going to be to schedule the pickup of the assets. So I can come in and indicate which stockroom this asset is going to be sent to, as well as scheduling the date that this needs to be done, as well as any vendor ID and vendor name that would be doing the pickup. And you can see that we have built-in functionality to make sure that there are required fields as part of this task. So I wouldn't be able to close this task without filling in every field that's required in order to move on. So I need to go ahead and put in a contact pickup name since these assets are going to be picked up. And now that I've filled in all of the fields, I'm able to close this task. And as part of this workflow, upon completion of that original task, another task will go ahead and be generated. And in this case, we need to go ahead and indicate that the asset has been received by the vendor. So I can come in and close this task, indicating that the asset has in fact been received at that stockroom. And this will update the asset state inside of its life cycle. Once this asset has been received, the next task we're going to need to do is to evaluate the asset to indicate what's going to be done. And this is where we're going to be able to indicate the evaluation status, where we can say this asset can either be redeployed as is, maybe it needs a repair before it can be redeployed, or we can say it needs to be moved into disposal and then kick off a disposal workflow. So for today, I'll go ahead and say that these assets need to be disposed of. So now, because we indicated that the evaluation of this asset indicated that we need to dispose of it, the substates and states of these assets will be changed inside of their life cycle to in stock pending disposal, and we could go in and kick off a disposal workflow for these assets. Again, this asset reclamation process being applied to enterprise assets is very valuable because we can make sure that the reclamation of these enterprise assets is handled in a standard format and that all of the assets are being reclaimed that need to be, and no assets are going missed as a part of this process. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you have any questions on the Utah release or the enterprise asset management module on the platform, please reach out to your account executive and we'd be more than happy to help. Again, thank you so much.